Your money, the moment it leaves your grasp on a Friday evening, doesn't just sit there waiting for you. It enters a financial twilight zone, a weekend limbo where, unseen by you, it continues to generate immense value, but not for you. That paycheck hitting your account, that transfer to a friend, or even just the cash sitting digitally in your checking account after Friday's closing bell, it's not really resting. While you're enjoying your weekend, unaware, a massive, silent wealth transfer is underway, orchestrated by institutions that benefit profoundly from this invisible churn. Most people assume their money just stays put, a static number on a screen. But that assumption is precisely what they want you to believe. The truth is far more dynamic and far more profitable for someone else. Imagine Sarah, a diligent graphic designer, finally getting paid on Friday afternoon. She checks her banking app, sees the deposit, and feels a sense of relief. For her, that money is now safely in her account, ready for rent on Monday. But for the bank, Sarah's deposit immediately becomes a vital component in a finely tuned, highly lucrative weekend operation. It's not simply waiting for Monday morning, it's being factored into complex calculations, bolstering balance sheets, and subtly empowering vast financial machinery. This isn't just about delayed access, it's about the very nature of modern banking and how your money becomes their asset, even if just for 48 hours. What exactly is happening behind those closed digital doors? When a transaction completes on a Friday, especially one involving multiple banks or large sums, the actual settlement, the final exchange of funds between institutions, often doesn't occur until the next business day. This creates a critical window, a gap where your money is both yours and not yours. It's been debited from one account, credited to another, but the underlying cash hasn't physically moved. This concept, known as float, is a gold mine for banks. For every $1 million that sits in this weekend float, the bank holding it gains an intangible yet very real financial advantage. Consider the sheer scale. Billions, perhaps even trillions of dollars are in various stages of transit every single weekend. Think of every direct deposit, every Friday payroll run, every online purchase made after hours. All those transactions are initiated, but their ultimate completion, their final reconciliation, is paused. Banks know exactly how much money is in this state of limbo, and they factor it into their daily liquidity management. This isn't a glitch, it's an intentional design, a systemic feature that allows them to leverage your deposits in ways that are entirely legal, yet mostly invisible to you. This weekend gap becomes particularly acute with the older, more established payment networks like the Automated Clearinghouse, or ACH. While convenient for payroll and bill payments, ACH transactions often take 1 to 3 business days to fully settle. If your employer initiates your paycheck on Thursday for a Friday deposit, the money might appear in your account on Friday, but the actual funds might not be fully transferred from your employer's bank to yours until Monday. Who benefits from that multi-day delay? The banks holding those funds, using them to meet reserve requirements or even for short-term investments, all while your money is technically in transit. And what about the immediate gratification of a debit card swipe? When you buy groceries on a Saturday afternoon, your bank instantly approves the transaction. The money disappears from your available balance. But does it immediately appear in the grocery store's bank account? Not always. Often, that money is held in a suspense account, a kind of internal staging area until the weekend passes. Your bank has essentially locked down your money, preventing you from spending it elsewhere, but it hasn't yet released those funds to the merchant.
This means for a significant portion of the weekend, your money is effectively earning zero interest for you, while the bank has full control over it. This hidden mechanism allows banks to maintain larger, on-paper, balances than they might otherwise have. These aggregated, temporarily dormant funds contribute to their overall liquidity. Think of it as a vast reservoir that refills every week, providing a consistent, predictable supply of capital. This capital, even if it's only available for short periods, is incredibly valuable. It strengthens their balance sheets, improves their financial ratios, and allows them to meet regulatory requirements more easily. It's passive income for the banks, generated from your active spending or saving. The financial world doesn't truly stop on the weekend. While stock markets close and most traditional banking services pause, the underlying systems continue their intricate dance. Banks use algorithms to predict these weekend flows with incredible accuracy. They know almost to the dollar how much money will be in float, how much will be held in suspense, and how much will need to be ready for Monday morning. This predictability is a powerful tool, allowing them to optimize their lending and investment strategies, maximizing their returns even during off hours. So, while your money is resting, or you think it is, the bank's money is not. They are constantly looking for ways to deploy capital. This weekend float becomes part of their broader pool of funds that they can use for overnight lending to other banks, for short-term government bonds, or other highly liquid, low-risk investments that yield a tiny but consistent return. Multiply that tiny return by billions of dollars, and over the course of a weekend, it adds up to a staggering sum. This is the quiet engine of banking profitability, running smoothly while the world sleeps. This leads us to a critical, often overlooked concept: opportunity cost. Every dollar you have sitting in a low-interest checking or savings account over the weekend is a dollar that could have been working harder for you. While the bank is using its collective weekend float to generate even a fraction of a percent in interest, your individual dollars are generating nothing. This isn't just about the money you lose, it's about the money you miss out on. It's a hidden tax on financial inertia, a subtle erosion of your potential wealth that compounds over time. Consider the wealthy. Do you think they leave significant sums of cash idling in checking accounts from Friday to Monday? Absolutely not. The truly financially savvy understand the concept of dead money. They deploy their capital. They might move it into high-yield savings accounts that offer slightly better interest, even if for a short period. Or they might structure their finances so that excess cash is swept into money market funds or short-term investment vehicles that do continue to accrue interest over the weekend, albeit often in a very automated, behind-the-scenes way. They are acutely aware that every hour their money isn't earning, it's losing purchasing power to inflation. This distinction between available funds and settled funds is crucial. When your banking app shows you an updated balance on Friday, it's showing you what's available for you to spend. But behind the scenes, the settlement process, the actual movement and finalization of funds between institutions, is often a different timeline altogether. It's like booking a flight. You have a ticket, your seat is reserved, but you haven't actually arrived at your destination yet. The money is yours in theory, but its full journey is still in progress, and in that interim, the airline, or in this case, the bank, holds a unique advantage. What about those instant payment apps, the ones that promise immediate transfers? Even these often operate on a clever illusion.
While the money might appear in the recipient's account instantly, the underlying bank-to-bank transfer might still be a deferred settlement process. The app provider or bank essentially front-loads the money, taking on the risk and often charging a fee for the instant access while they wait for the traditional settlement to complete in the background. They bridge the gap, but they don't eliminate it entirely, and they certainly don't do it for free. They are monetizing the very inefficiency that we're talking about. This mechanism also fuels what's known as the shadow banking system. While traditional banks might be limited by regulations on how much they can lend or invest based on their deposits, other financial entities operate with fewer constraints. They might leverage these weekend lows, tapping into short-term liquidity pools to make rapid, high-volume trades or engage in other financial maneuvers that traditional banks might not or cannot. It's a parallel universe of finance, constantly moving, constantly seeking out opportunities, often capitalizing on the very pauses built into the conventional system. So, what does this mean for the average person? It means that your idle money is not just idle. It's a free resource for the banking system. It's a subtle form of wealth transfer from the many to the few, happening every single week. This isn't necessarily sinister. It's simply how the system is designed to operate, and it's incredibly efficient for the institutions involved. But understanding it allows you to play the game more intelligently. It transforms your perception of your own money from a static number to a dynamic asset that should always be working for you. The ultimate irony is that banks don't want you to truly understand this. They benefit from your assumption that money in your checking account is just sitting there, patiently waiting. Because if everyone optimized their cash flow, if everyone moved their funds into interest-bearing accounts or investments the moment they received them, the bank's vast, silent weekend revenue stream would diminish. It's why they offer convenience, ease of access, and often free checking accounts, all of which encourage you to keep your money exactly where it serves them best. This entire system, from the delayed settlement of ACH transactions to the float advantage, contributes significantly to the widening wealth gap. Those with large amounts of capital can afford to have sophisticated financial advisors and tools that ensure their money is always invested, always working, even on weekends. They minimize their dead money and maximize their working money. The average person, often with less disposable income and less financial literacy, keeps their money in the path of least resistance, unknowingly sacrificing potential gains. It's a continuous, low-level drain that, over years, amounts to substantial lost opportunities. What can you do about it? It starts with awareness. It means understanding that the money you see on your screen isn't always fully settled or earning for you. It means considering options beyond the traditional checking account. High-yield savings accounts, even with their modest returns, are a step in the right direction. Money market accounts, short-term certificates of deposit, or even automated investment sweeps can ensure that your cash doesn't spend its weekend generating profits solely for someone else. The future of finance is attempting to address some of these inefficiencies. Technologies like blockchain and instant payment rails, such as the Federal Reserve's FedNow service, aim to eliminate the weekend gap, allowing for 24/7 instantaneous settlement. Imagine a world where your money truly moves in real time, all the time. This would fundamentally alter the banking landscape, stripping away one of their oldest and most reliable profit centers.
É por isso que tradicionais instituições são lentas a adotar ou fulamente embraçar essas tecnologias, porque real-time money means real-time accountability e less opportunity for the hidden leverage that benefits them so greatly. Essa alavancagem oculta não é algum instrumento financeiro complexo acessível apenas aos super ricos. É a soma simples e massiva de dinheiro que fica ociosa, mesmo que por poucas horas, em milhões de contas. Pense nisso como um rio. Todo fim de semana, esse rio desacelera, acumulando-se nos cofres dos bancos, permitindo que eles desviem um gotejo, depois um córrego, depois uma torrente para seus próprios canais de investimento. Isso não é apenas sobre pequenos juros em sua poupança, é sobre o volume puro de capital que eles podem implantar temporariamente, mesmo da noite para o dia, para gerar retornos massivos através de empréstimos interbancários, títulos de curto prazo ou outras transações de baixo risco e alto volume. Enquanto seus $100 ficam ali, dormentes, sem gerar nada para você, esses mesmos $100, multiplicados por milhões de outras contas dormentes, tornam-se um empréstimo colossal e sem juros para o banco, alimentando seus lucros. A resistência à liquidação em tempo real, 24 horas por dia, 7 dias por semana, não é sobre obstáculos tecnológicos, é sobre proteger essa mina de ouro. É uma parte fundamental do modelo de negócios deles, um imposto silencioso sobre sua paciência financeira. Eles lucram com a inatividade do seu dinheiro, com a própria fricção do sistema. O que isso significa para você? Significa que a cada momento em que seu dinheiro não está rendendo, ele está, na verdade, financiando os lucros deles. E entender essa distinção é o primeiro passo para recuperar seu poder financeiro. So, the next time Friday evening rolls around and your paycheck lands in your account, remember this. That money isn't just sitting there. It's entering a subtle, powerful, and immensely profitable ballet for the banks. It's bolstering their balance sheets, contributing to their liquidity, and potentially earning them a silent income, all while you're planning your weekend. The greatest secret in finance isn't some complex algorithm. It's the simple fact that your money is a resource, and if you're not actively managing it to benefit you, someone else most certainly is. The banks don't want you to know how much they profit from your financial inertia, from the simple act of letting your money sit from Friday to Monday. But now you do. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue to let your money work for them, or will you demand that it works for you every single day of the week?